Welcome back to Battle Cage. We are back again for another episode. Today is a new segment we're going to introduce to our fans, our subscribers. It's called Round Line Rapid Fire. It's a segment where we go through each fight. We talk about the round line, the over-unders. We see what we like. We see what we're going to attack. And we take it from there and see what the best plays are so we can all cash and win these tickets and make this money like always. I want to introduce our co-host, Saeed, back onto Battle Cage. What's up, my brother? How you doing? Good to
I'm
see
doing
you.
very good. Thank you so much. I love this new idea with the round line rapid fire. You have a lot of great plays here. We're gonna be referencing points bet, right? Am I correct?
Yeah,
We're
points up,
yeah,
yeah.
we're gonna be referencing points bet, and we're gonna go through pretty much like 98% of our official plays. So you guys
Yeah,
will. It's pretty transparent, and yeah, I'm really excited for this.
let's get to it. Let's get to it. All right, so we'll start off with the first fight of the night. We got Julio Arce taking on Daniel Santos. We got the round line set at 2.5. Overs looking like it's shaded to minus 175 around, and the unders plus money at plus 135. To be honest, the first fight, I don't really have a strong read on this fight. I kind of lean towards RC. Saif, if you want to show them. So yeah,
I'm
with the
hovering
round
over the
line,
money line. It's currently set at 190 minus 195.
yeah. So let's talk more about the round prop. Me personally, I'm leaning more towards the over 2.5, but it's not a strong inclination. It's not like on top of my list, strong play. I'm probably not going to play it or touch it at all, to be honest. But if I had to pick, I would probably lean towards the over. But I can't see either one of these guys knocking the other out. So no strong inclination for me on this fight. What about you, Saeed?
To tell you the truth, I'm looking at the lines here. Um, you know, from what I've gathered, and again, the reason I'm very hesitant on this, and correct me if I'm wrong. There's very limited tape study that I can do on Daniel Santos. I
Yeah,
was able to get like one or two videos, and it's one is like from like several years back, so it's not the most up to date. The most current thing I know is based on his performance. He's a finisher. He's a good striker. Submission for
yeah,
sure. He's Brazilian, so the BJJ is definitely in his backpack. However, because I can't gauge his current performance, like I don't even have a fight from a year ago, and because of that, I'm just hesitant. However, it's like with me, if I have to pull a trigger, I'd rather bet on the horse that I know than the horse that just came out of
yeah.
the stable. Do you kind of understand my metaphor? So
Yeah, that's exactly why I'm leaning towards RC because it's a tough test for Santos in his first UFC fight. He does train with Oliveira, two box fighter, so he can get the finish. I could see it happening. I wouldn't be too surprised to be honest with you. But I lean more towards the experience with RC. That's why I lean more towards the over 2.5 in this fight. But no, like I said, not a strong play. Not one of my not one of my biggest fights on the card that I'm gonna attack. I'm probably not gonna attack this fight at all, to be honest. So
right, and for me personally, if I had to touch this fight now at the current moment, I've touched only the money line. Julio Arce at minus 188. If I don't want to lie to you, but I believe it's 188, and that was from FanDuel and from BetMGM, both sports books, and I parlayed it in a at least like 4+ leg parlay. So even though I've touched it, I have action on it.
mm,
I probably have collectively 1.25 units
yeah,
altogether on this. And to tell you the truth, my confidence level would be like 5 out of 10, so 50%. Um,
these are these are your big money parlays. Couple dollars to win a lot, right?
correct. You kind of know where my head is at with this particular play, and it's gonna be something that I put maybe I want to say like $20, and my return is
Yeah,
like 2,500, three
yeah, of
thousand.
course.
Again, if it hits, it hits. But if I lose $20, I can
Not
pretty
that big.
much live with it. You know what I'm saying? I think it kind
Yeah,
of sums up on this one. I think we feel pretty comfortable.
yeah. There's
So
nothing I really want to attack on
yeah,
this.
so the over from your side, if I'm not mistaken, and also the money
Lean,
line from
lean, lean, lean
lean,
over,
lean.
but
So
not a
lean.
play.
Okay, okay. Same thing with me. Like I said, I didn't even touch the over. I would probably feel over 1.5. A little bit
Maybe
more
parlay.
comfortable. But it's
Yeah,
really chalky. It's minus 313. But it's a good parlay piece. If that's kind of the route you want to go with, I would feel more comfortable with pulling a 1.5 rather than over 2.5. But 2.5 is minus 176 on average,
yeah, point.
average. But we can
Yeah,
actually, yeah.
you'll find it there in most sports books. But let's move on to the next one. Not
Okay.
not a lot more to say about this one. Let's move on to Rodriguez versus Hanson. This fight also at 2.5 round line. If you go to it, Saif, when you get a chance.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
at over two
See,
and a
so we got
half.
the over 2.5. Yeah, it's
So
minus 228, and then we got the under at plus 175. Women's MMA, so obviously off the jump, you're gonna think it's gonna go over, which I'm inclined to believe too in this fight. I can see a finish from Piera, but maybe late KO if she's just pounding on Hanson and Hanson can't take it anymore. And then on the other side, that's the only path to victory I see for Hanson is a sub. So if you like Hanson, I would say you're leaning towards the under. If you like Pierre, you're probably leaning towards the over. You're not really going to get any value with the over. So for me, what I did, I think I have Pierre slash over 2.5 in a parlay at plus 130. If you see it on the bottom right there. Yeah, I have that at plus 138 actually. Sorry. I have that in one parlay. I like to do those instead of Piera by points or like any fighter in any fight. That's why I like points bet because let's say they get that finish late, you have a better chance of hitting rather than taking the fighter by points because then if they get the late finish, you're not going to hit that ticket because they're not going to win by points. But with this, you get that half a round little gap to help you out. So I like that points bet offers this. And yeah, I took a flyer on that. I'm not heavy on Piera. Like I think she's gonna win, but it's not like I'm as strongly like inclined to believe that as the other fights. So a little bit of action on that. And I took the over 1.5 as well. Put that in a few parlays because I like that as a parlay piece. This fight should definitely go over 1.5 in my opinion.
the
What
one and
about
a
you?
half currently set at minus 400. Am I correct?
Yeah, right there.
Okay.
I got that in a few parlays.
Now, I'm sorry to interrupt, but did you
Yeah.
did you play the Piera over 2.5 as a
Yeah.
straight plus
No,
138 or parlay?
parlay. I
What did you
parlay. And when
parlay it
I
with, if you don't mind me asking?
did a few little Hail Mary parlays, but mainly with all the other picks that I'm really strong about. Like what I do is I have my few picks that like I'm like basically almost 100% sure in, like obviously Hamdan and a few other ones.
Okay.
And I'll throw all those into different parlays and then like in one I'll add one thing and another I'll add another thing, just to give a little bit of variety. So I
Okay.
threw that in with Tisha over 2.5 also. And then it was like round lines. It was like over 1.5 in the Volt Zombie, chalky, but still it adds some juice. Over 1.5 Yan and Sterling. Hamza by finish, I threw in that. Torres, like I said, in over 2.5. And I think also over 1.5 in Madsen and Pichel.
Oh, that's good. Okay, and then we're obviously gonna touch that as we move down the
Yeah,
card.
we'll go along with that. Yeah.
Absolutely. So, for me personally, again, I'm probably like, I probably got a few people on the island because I'm like on the island by myself. I know this is kind of where we really on polar opposites. I do see the takedown advantage for Kay Hansen. The recency bias is what really driving the people toward Piera, but there's more to it. If you break down the fight, Piera is, like we mentioned in our previous podcast, which if you haven't watched, please go ahead and take a look right now. You will see that we kind of go a little bit more here. Here we're focusing on the lines, but Piera, she does have she comes with volume, and we know volume wins fights, especially in women's MMA. And you love the greater the volume, the greater the output, and as we're winning time, right? As we're winning the
Yeah.
rounds, as we take the first, second, third. That's where you're gonna get the edge, especially if there's no finish. And women's fights usually don't end. Maybe 20% end in a finish, and they're like killers, right? So here, Piera does have the knockout ability. I mean, you can't deny that. She's very, her output is crazy. But I'm gonna go on the limb here. I'm gonna give Kate Hanson the benefit of the doubt, and if I get burned, I promise you, I am throwing her
You,
in a dark shade box, and
yeah.
I'm never touching her ever again. But I like the money line. It's currently at plus 100. As let me pull that screen on for you guys. So the plus 100 is, I'm totally satisfied. I have a 3-unit play. I'm probably the only one that's gonna tell you it's a 3-unit play. But it's a 3-unit play, and I also took Kay Hansen by submission, 1.5 units, so a total of 4.5 units invested, which is fine because I had some extra units to play with. So this is, I kind of take satisfaction breaking down a very close fight, and this happens to be a close fight. And if I get it, I get it. If not, whatever. But I did hedge per our conversation. I took Pereira Rodriguez with the over at plus 138 as you recommended, and I parlayed the living shit out of it with Ian Gary and Aspen what's her name, Raquel Pennington by decision. So those three are tied up in a parlay, and it's giving me a really good juice. And if I hit that, basically it offsets the 4.5 units already played. So I'm gonna be totally fine,
Yeah, you always gotta hedge yourself. That's what I do as well.
So we can move on.
Let's move on to the next one. So what do we got? We got Hernandez versus Josh Fra.
Yep.
This fight, yeah, like the first one, not heavy on this at all. I don't have any action on this fight whatsoever. It's just like I don't know what to make of this fight, to be honest. The one thing I would lean to if I were gonna play one thing in this fight, it would probably be violence and under 2.5. Or even maybe 1.5 is, I don't trust that in this fight. 2.5 if I were, but it's too chalky, so I'm not even gonna touch that. I'm just staying away from this fight, to be honest with you. But I do see a stoppage, whether it's Hernandez side or the Frem side. I see someone getting a stoppage here. What about you?
Absolutely 100% on board with the under 2.5. Remember, what's his name? The underdog, Josh Fra. It's his debut. But this guy is not gonna be reserved. This guy, the way he fights, you just breaking down tape, he comes in with a lot of heat. Like, the man has pop in his shots. He's aggressive with his takedowns. He will go for the submission if he sees it. And I personally, I told you, I'm leaning underdog. I have one play, just one parlay. It's a 5-leg parlay with Josh Fra in it, with like my confident picks, like Hamzat, what's his name, Peter Yan, Ian Gary, like the repetitive things that I'm really heavily invested in. So plus maybe like 1 or 2 plays with the over under, like the Volk, the main event. I really like the over 1.5, which we're gonna touch. Like, so in a 5-leg parlay, I used it as a juicer. That's pretty much it. However, what you just mentioned, I really love the under 2.5. I expect violence because Anthony Hernandez, he's a finisher, believe it or not. Like, this guy is either kill or be killed. And Josh Fra is kind of the same thing. He goes out there, either to finish the fight or, you know what I'm saying? Like, the way from that's what I got. Violence all over. Hopefully, right? But it's a chalky line, minus 300, probably across the books if you shop around, maybe plus minus 10. But I'm really, really kind of in total agree. Like, I have to agree. The violence is there. The fight is not going a distance. The under is giving you a better value, and I think the bookies are on it. Will the fight go to distance? You can see the screen I'm hovering over. It's minus 477. So I prefer if you think the fight doesn't go to distance, I'm gonna lean under 2.5 and get as much as value as possible. I think you're kind of on the same track with me. So again, nothing major. I think I have like like one of those $20 parlays, $25 parlays. So again, the action on this is very minimal. But again, if I had to, if I am just like a complete degenerate, I see myself pulling a trigger of minus 3 or 4 in the under and parlaying it with like Ian Gary, and then getting
Yeah.
the closer juice to maybe like minus
Plus.
150 or pick'em line. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. All right. Yeah. So let's move on. Next fight would be Vandera versus Oleinik, but they don't even have any spreads on that for some reason. So let's move on because that fight. Well, anyways, I don't really
It's a
care too much.
skipper. It's a skipper.
Yeah, skipper on this one.
Okay.
But then that takes us to Mickey Gall versus McMallet. We got over under was set at 2.5. Surprisingly, over is plus 145, and under was minus 180, I believe. Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
minus
minus one.
179.
Okay, yeah. I mean, this fight, I definitely think it's another violent. I mean, a lot of fights I think are gonna go decision on this card, but this fight, like the last one we covered, I think it's gonna be a violent spot also because the way Mike Malott fights, it's he gives it all, he puts it all out there in that first round, and if he doesn't get that finish, which he probably will in the first round, but if he doesn't for whatever reason, then I could see Gol finishing him in the second or the third. So I think someone's getting finished just like the last fight, honestly. And no play for me either on this fight. There's so much better spots for me to attack than this fight or the last one. So I'm gonna stay away. If I had to go with anything on this fight, I mean, I know you have Malott by sub. You took a shot at that. I'd probably lean towards Malott inside the distance or something along those lines as well. I think it's like near plus or almost plus money.
Like a double
Yeah,
chance. Like, look, I'm kind of hovering over. Or did you want a submission or
yeah,
points?
right there by finish, KO or sub. That's right there, minus
Pretty much
105.
inside the distance,
Yeah,
minus
if I
105.
had
Yep.
to, but I'm gonna stay away from this fight also. I just see a lot of better spots on this card than this fight, so I'll let you take off with it.
Okay. For me personally, I did tell you a couple of spots, so let me go back to the screen for them to see. For me personally, I took a shot at Mike Malott before the line moved, and again, the line didn't move too much. He kind of started like 180-ish, and then some books have him like minus 210. So he's right there between 195 and 210-ish. I found value in the money line, and this is a complete Mickey Gall fade. I mean, I'm fading the living shit out of him. I don't trust him. And if I lose this one, that's fine. But it's a 0.5, so half a unit play in a really nice parlay, like with everything that I'm confident in. And I threw him as a money line. I also took a shot on the what's his name by submission. Let
So,
me pull that up. So I got Mike Malott by submission. I was really impressed with the fact that this guy is like a shark. When he sees that submission opportunity, he just snaps on it. You know what I'm saying? And let me just quickly check something while I have this pulled up. How many? What's his record? Is he like undefeated or just he has one loss?
Malott,
Yeah, I forgot.
uh,
I'm gonna look him up right now. Just
I
bear
think
with me.
yeah, I think he has a loss.
Oh, I think like one loss or something. Let me see. Mike, yeah, he's 7-1. Um,
It's Jet Alpha Male.
yeah, and 4 wins are via submission, and he's actually honestly he has no decision wins. So that inside distance minus 104 is
Yeah,
is probably where if you want to bet this and you want to get the best thing out of it, it's amazing. KO or sub minus 105. Sign me up. I haven't pulled the trigger on this particular line. I did take a stab just money line because just in case it's MMA gets dicey, and I parlayed it, so I got a pretty good juice out of it. So I am kind of picking Mike Mallet, but this is not like a big all balls to the wall play at all. So
the
that
only
kind of
thing I would
yeah.
say is that the reason why I wouldn't fully invest in that pick, the Malab by finish, is because if you look, his last fight, I believe, was like 2.5 years ago. So he hasn't fought in like 2.5 years. So that's a big red flag. And if you look at all his fights, like you said, most of them that he's won, the 7 that he's won, I think they've all been within like the first round and a half. So we don't know. Like I said earlier, if he doesn't get that finish in that first round, it's not going to be looking too good if you're holding that ticket. So that's why I'm not gonna touch this fight, and I'm not gonna back Mulatto. It's a wait and see spot for me. I want to see what he got. If he looks impressive, maybe I'll back him out next time. But he hasn't been in the octagon in over 2 years, so you don't know what you're gonna get
Absolutely.
100%, and I'd
Absolutely.
rather not risk my money at that point.
Absolutely.
But yeah.
All right. I think we can move on, correct?
Yeah, all right, let's move on to the next one. We got Aspen Lad versus Raquel Pennington. If you pull it up, I think the line's, yeah, it's set at 2.5, shaded towards the over heavily. It's at minus 345, I believe. Yeah,
Mm.
minus 345, and then the under is at plus 250. So, obviously the bookies think this fight is going to the judges' scorecards, as do I. I like Rocky in this fight. I'm invested in this fight. This is one of the fights I'm invested in.
Okay.
I really like Rocky. I think she's gonna win a decision. I took her by decision in one parlay, and then I took her Rocky and over 2.5. If you go to the bottom of the screen,
So the
well, yeah.
points.
Oh, the Rocky by points is minus 102. I have that, and
Okay.
I also took Rocky slash over 2.5 at minus 113. Not a big difference from either or, but like I said earlier, I like to get that little half a round just in case. You never know. You never know if Aspen Lad's gonna quit or not. So if she does, and it's at the end of the third round, I could still cash the ticket. So that's why I like to do that as well. And then I also took the over 1.5 and used it as a parlay piece in a few
Ooh,
parlays.
that is so juiced.
I know, but it adds some value, and like when something's a sure thing in my eyes, I go with it. Like this to me is a sure thing over 1.5. At the
Over
end of
one
the
and
day,
a
yes,
half, minus 589, guys. So,
yeah,
the bookies are kind of like
it's
really all over it at this point. So,
but it's a sure thing in my eyes. So that's why
okay.
I'm gonna throw it in a few parlays and give my parlays a little bit more value. And when I cash
Fair
them,
enough.
instead of cashing 2,000, I'm cashing 2,500 or whatever it is. You know what I mean?
No, fair enough. Fair enough. Can't even
Yeah.
argue with that one. Any other lines you're looking at over here?
Yeah, no, that's it. This fight, that's all I really attack. I'm obviously gonna hedge myself. Like the more I'm invested in a certain fighter or a certain outcome, before that fight starts, I'll hedge myself with the other side and add it to the same parlay I had the other fighter in, but with all the other things. And then, God forbid, it doesn't come through like I thought it would. I have the
And would
hedge.
you? I'm sorry to interrupt you. Would you just literally
Mhm.
take the plus 155 and call it a day?
It depends on the fight, but in this situation, what I would do is the only way I see Aspen Lad winning this fight is by KO. So I'd probably take her by KO as a
Ooh,
hedge.
okay. Plus 800.
Yeah, because that's the only way I see her winning this fight. She's not gonna win a decision.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
You know what I mean?
Okay. I have to.
But,
I have to
mhm.
agree with Raquel Pennington pick minus 190 parlay, and I do see this going all the way. So this is why again the bookies are all over it, over 2.5, 345. But at this point, will the fight go to distance? Do they have this here? Let me just find it right
Yes.
here.
Right there.
So if you want to get a little bit value, just a little bit, if you see the over 2.5, again, if anytime you see over 2.5, I probably see the distance. So will the fight go to distance? Yes. And if you want even more, then obviously you have to take Raquel Pennington by. You know what? This is not a bad spot too. Raquel Pennington by KO or points.
I
Just
like the sub or points
the
more if
sub
you're
or
gonna
points
do that.
better. So here's
Because
so here's Raquel
she's
Pennington
tough.
sub or points minus 41. So again, as long as the points is there is kind of where I'm trying to lead the public. I
Yeah.
think just by decision, what is Raquel by points alone is minus 102. So that's if you kind of like very sold on it, that's the best spot. I'm not 100% sold on it because Rocky surprised us in the last fight. She submitted was a rear naked choke. So
Chase on.
yeah, Macy Chason rear naked choke. So again, just in case you want to, and I agree with you. Thank you for helping me out. I think the sub or points, if you kind of want to take both sides, but like I said, it's how you guys want to gauge it. I personally like just money line, and also the fight going all the way to the distance. And again, that would be a parlay piece, 100%. I would not even, and if I lose, I lose, but I feel very confident, and hopefully we're winning because that's the whole point.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, that's how I feel too. But it's gonna come through. If I'm playing it, it's gonna come through 9 out of 10 times. Believe that.
Let's go, let's go. That's what I like to hear. Now,
Yeah.
this is
Next one will be we got Jorginho Rosenstrike
but
versus
you're gonna
Marcin.
have to help me. What do I do? How do I
Oh,
get
you
there?
gotta go to all comps, all comps.
Okay, and then UFC, right?
UFC on the bottom, on the bottom.
Let me see.
Underworld. No, not that one.
No, this one is giving me everything.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah, or that one. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Okay, so yeah,
Okay,
we
so
got
Rosenstruck.
Rosenstrike.
By the way, guys, this is my first time exploring points bet. I'm actually gonna be joining points bet, courtesy of Law Stacks, and I gotta go with the man. I gotta go with the
Yeah.
man here.
All right, so we got the round line for this one set at 2.5. The under is -152, and the over is +118.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, for me, I'm leaning on the under, but more specifically,
One and a
I do
half.
have no, 2.5, two and a half,
Two and a
two and
half
a half.
under.
Yeah, no, but that's not what I'm leaning to. I'm saying that's the round line that the fight is set at is
Oh,
2.5.
okay,
For
okay.
me, what I'm leaning towards is Rosenstrike / under 2.5, a little bit
Mm.
below where you highlighted. It's +134, as you guys see there.
Wow.
Let's be real here, guys. This is why I love points bet. Rosenstrike by KO, I think they have at +1. If you go up, can you check what they have there?
What was the line?
Rosenstrike by KO. Can you check what they have?
Rosenstruck by KO is currently +116.
Okay, now if you go back down, Rosenstrike and under 2.5
Plus
is
134.
come on, if he's gonna get the knockout, it's gonna be under 2.5. You get a better number, and that's the way he wins this fight. Because listen, either way, I like the under 2.5 as well. If you guys want to just take that on its own, if you feel like Tybura has a shot at finishing Rosenstrike, which he does, of course he does, because if he gets him to the ground, he definitely can finish him. But I see Rosenstrike catching that shot and putting Tybura out. Tybura's been knocked out, I believe, 4 or 5 times in his career. So it's not like it hasn't happened before. And I think it's going to happen again. And that's what I'm looking at. I'm looking at that. Like I said, Rosenstrike and under 2.5 +134 on points bet. You could also take under 2.5. And if you want to just play it safe and take Rosenstrike money line, you could do that too. But I don't see him really winning a decision. I mean, it's possible, but I think he's gonna knock him out.
Okay. Yeah, I can't actually argue with that fact. Plus 134. That's a great value. Jairzinho Rosenstruck, the longer the fight goes, it actually favors Tybura. If you ask me.
Yeah.
And Rosenstruck has to put this guy out. Otherwise, Tybura, if he gets comfortable, I see a takedown from the guy. You know what I'm saying? And if he takes Rosenstruck down, I'm gonna be honest. I don't trust the get-up game from Rosenstruck. So I'm gonna hope a strong bounce back for Rosenstruck. And this is actually the best value, Rosenstruck under 2.5, because like I said, if you're thinking over 2.5, then you're thinking distance, and if you're thinking distance, then I mean, you don't really have to, but you have to be thinking Tybura, because Tybura is more of a technical fighter at a heavyweight versus a kickboxer / finisher in the likes of Jairzinho Rosenstruck. So that's actually one of the best lines that I've seen so far. And points bet is, man, I'm definitely gonna be playing points bet for this upcoming event, 100%. So this is a good line. I have to strongly agree with you.
Yeah, they have. I love the lines they have. They have really good lines, and I like the type of like what they offer, what type of bets they offer. A lot of other sports books don't have the fighter / round line. That's what I love about them. That they have that. Makes it more
100%.
convenient.
Okay.
All right, let's move on. We got Ian Gary versus Darion Weeks. This one is set at 1.5, with the over set at -179, and we got the under set at +140. So for me, a lot of people obviously heavy on Ian Gary this week. A lot of people heavy on him by finish, but for me, I think the fight's gonna go a little bit longer. I think it's definitely possible that he finishes him, but if he does, I think it's going to be later on in the fight. So I really like the over 1.5, even though it's minus 179. It's a pretty good value in
It's
my
not a bad
opinion.
value.
Yeah, I see it definitely going over the 1.5 at least. So I'm gonna attack that in a few parlays, and if you wanna get a little bit of more juice, you could do Ian Gary slash over 2.5 maybe, but I'm not as comfortable in that. I'm
I'm
definitely
not
more
comfortable
comfortable
with that
with the
either.
one. Yeah, I'm definitely more comfortable with the 1.5. So I'm just gonna take. Oh, and also I'm gonna take a little bit of a flyer on Ian Gary by decision. I
Hmm.
think it's at plus. It was a little bit higher earlier in the week, but now it's at like plus 200, I believe. If you check over there,
How do I
you
close the box? I clicked it on
gotta
the.
click the X on the right. Right there, the
Uh-huh.
X, the
All right,
minus
no
170.
problem. You're in the picture. I didn't see it. All right, so I'm learning. I'm not. You see, as you can see, guys, don't be afraid to navigate the new books because this I'm actually doing this right here in front of you to show you that I'm. This is my learning opportunity. That's why I have low stacks. That's why I have him here because, like I said, I do my thing, but it's really good to explore other books as well. And you're gonna find things like the fighter with the total over or under. It's a beautiful thing. So I really like it. I'm gonna agree with you on the over 1.5. In fact, I think that's a great play. I'm
Yeah,
like 7 out of 10 confidence level with this. I think I do see Ian Gary winning. So I have him in 4 parlays. So I have to be backing him. And
yeah,
but I also think Weeks is good. Darian, that's his name, right? Darian Weeks. I think
yeah,
he's good. He's solid. I don't know if he wins, but he definitely has the goods to last at minimum 2 rounds. So I like the
yeah,
over 1.5. And if there's gonna be a finish, that's probably be like closer to the end, over 2.5, if anything, where Darian Weeks is just tired from trying to take down Ian Gary, tired from getting punched in the face. You know what I'm saying? It's a fight, so
yeah,
as, from the wear and tear. So even if Gary wins by decision, I will be in cruise control past 175. I actually don't have a play at the moment with this particular line, but you best believe I'm taking a stab at the 1.5, over one and a
yeah.
half minus 179. Best believe on that one. That's a good
All
one. I appreciate that. Yep, that's awesome.
right. All right. So next up, we got Vince Pichel versus Mark Madsen. We got the round line set at 2.5. The over is minus 200, and the under is plus 155.
That's the two and a
Uh,
half line you referenced, correct?
yeah, 2.5. Yeah, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, I have the over 1.5 in a lot of parlays. I love that. I'm really, really, even though it's minus 345, I don't care. I love
Okay.
that's it. That's coming through. So I threw it in a bunch of parlays. And honestly,
I
like
love it.
since yesterday, like I've been thinking, and I might take a stab at Vince Pichel and over 2.5 rounds. If you go a little bit down, it's the last thing right there. It's at plus 148. I think I wasn't sure about this fight. I might
Mm-hmm.
not attack it, but I think I'm gonna throw a little bit on Pichel and over 2.5, or Pichel by points, because Pichel by points is I think plus 180.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I think Pichel's gonna win this fight. Now that I started thinking about it a little bit
So
more,
you you
I
you
think
you
that's
you
gonna run out of
solidified with Pichel?
yeah. I think Pichel's a dog, and I think he's gonna find a way to scrap this fight out, win a nice decision. Maybe I could see even the third round stoppage from Pichel, because Madsen's gonna tire. Madsen's gonna probably win the first, but I think Pichel's gonna win the second and third and win a 29-28 decision, or maybe a late round stoppage when Madsen has nothing left and he's gonna get him out of there.
Fair enough.
That's what I
Um,
was.
Personally, for me personally, I told you early on I smacked Madsen. I believe was he like plus 120 something? Yeah, he
So you did
was.
not want to hear what I just had to say.
No, I didn't have one. However, the fact that the line has been diluted is
Yeah.
actually it's comforting. You know what I'm saying? But from our podcast yesterday, from what you just said right now, you have to believe I'm taking a stab on Vince Pichel, and if he wins, I don't really see a knockout because I think Madsen is going to be just relentlessly trying to take him down. Now that could gas him out, to be honest, in the third round.
It is
And I'll be honest with you. I think Vince Michelle is strong as shit. But I also think that you're good. Should we take a minute?
Yeah, 1 second.
All
Sorry.
right. All right,
we're
he's
good.
back. He's back. All right, good. Because I was like, whoa, what just happened?
Yeah.
What was I saying? Oh, yeah. So, even though I think Vince Pichel is strong, actually really freakishly strong, and he's 39, he looks amazing. The relentless pressure from Madsen and the durability, I have to give it to the guy's an Olympian. At the end of the day,
Yeah.
he competed at the world stage, not just one organization, world stage with world class athletes. Even though he's like a bronze, winner. I mean, he's like what 1% of the population that actually gets even a medal, right? Let's just keep it a buck. So the durability factor is there. The 1.5 is it's like a cheat code in my book. I think that's really good, right? Again, but it's a fight. Anything can happen. Madsen could just literally grab the guy's neck in 30 seconds, right? But if you're taking a high probability pick, that's kind of where I see myself going with this one. I told you I took the action on Mark Madsen in a 7-leg parlay, which is like a $100 parlay. So I was thinking big. I was thinking, if I win the $100 parlay, that's like a few stacks. That's kind of where I was going with. But I do see myself edging myself out just in case, maybe half a unit, $50 play, and just switching. Same parlay, just taking Vince Pichel. That's it. Just to cover my ass. But, my initial pick was Mark Madsen because I think the wrestling is just too much. But he can gas. I see a scenario clear as day. He can gas out and he can lose the fight to Vince Pichel, and so I can't even argue your pick at all. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, it's nothing crazy. I just might throw a few dollars on it, but no, I like the over 1.5 as a parlay piece. That's
minus one. That's kind of yeah. I told you I like that a lot. Minus 345. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. All right. So next on we got Mackenzie Dern versus Tisha Torres. We got the round line is set also at 2.5. The over minus 197 and the under is at plus 150.
Yeah.
So for me, it depends what side you like in this fight. If you like Mackenzie Dern, then you like the under. If you like Tisha Torres, then you like the over. It's plain and simple, just like that. For me, I like Tisha Torres, as I said yesterday on the other podcast. If you didn't catch that one, tune in, like, and subscribe. We got a lot more content coming. But, I love Tisha Torres in this spot. I'm heavy on her. I have her in a bunch of parlays. I have her by points. I have her with the over 2.5 as well. I have her money line. And I used even the over 1.5 as a parlay piece. Not the 1.5. But of course, I'm going to hedge a little bit with Dern by submission. But I don't see that happening. I see domination, Tisha Torres by decision, 30-27, all three judges' scorecards. That's what I see.
You know what? Can't argue with it. I told you 2 parlays already. Tisha Torres, I love Tisha Torres. Loved her today in the presser, man. She was so confident. Like, she
love that.
And she's like, what, 1 win away, maybe 2 wins away max from a title shot.
2.
So yeah, 2. Like this one, and then she's definitely going for a title eliminator. And I gotta tell you, the confidence is there. Her bound. She only lost to the top of the top. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying Mackenzie is not top. I think she's game, but she's really kind of one-sided.
Trick pony.
She is, but I respect that trick so much. It's like it's the best magic trick you got. You know what I'm saying? Like if you're gonna do a magic trick, you're gonna do the one and she got her BJJ submission game.
It's like the Francis Ngannou trick on the ground, literally, but on the ground.
On the ground, correct.
Yeah.
So I like the over 1.5. Again, the bookies, as you can see, set the price at minus 334. So only parlay do you see the distance. And as you mentioned, if you like Tisha Torres, you're all over 2.5 because I think that's where she gets it done. volume is stupendous. She can kick as she's backing off. That's really surprising. And
And look, scroll down a little bit. Look, Tisha. If you scroll down, just right
over
there,
two and a
Tisha
half.
over 2.5 plus 120. Look at
I
that
think
value.
that's where you want to be then. If you want to do the over, I won't. I would just take Tisha Torres, to be honest.
And the over.
And the
You
over,
get
and you get the
plus one.
plus 120.
Can't beat that.
Nah, I think that's a great position, especially if you have that line. Again, we're referencing points bet because Lost Stack says we gotta look at it. So you know what I'm saying?
And we'll get to the next fight, but parlay her right there, Tisha Torres / over 2.5. That's plus 120.
Yep.
Now you take that, you parlay that with Hamzat and / under 2.5.
You
and
know
then you
what?
take-
Let's click that, and then
Yeah.
can I keep it
Start
without
parlay. You gotta press start parlay.
right
See
here?
on the left
Okay,
and
no
the
problem.
blue,
So
yeah.
we'll keep that on the side, and because I want to see the total odds. Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay,
Now
so-
let's move on. All right, we
Yeah.
got Hamzat versus Gilbert Burns. This round line is going to be set at 1.5, with the over at minus 125 and the under at minus 105. Yeah.
Right here.
So the 1.5, well, minus 124 is the over, and the under is minus 104.
Yep.
So for me, I don't even care about the round prop in this fight. I care about only two things and two things only. And if you go down, you'll see one of those two things is Hamzat / under 2.5 minus 130. Like, come on. They are crazy for giving us this line. Minus 139.
I'm gonna move you over. Let me just put you right here because I actually want to look at this. So the two-piece parlay. I'm sorry, I'm interrupting you, but I have to mention
it's
this.
okay.
The two-piece parlay. If you do the Tisha Torres over 2.5, which is at plus 120, you combine that with Hamzat Chimaev. Because, I mean, you have to pick Khamzat Chimaev. The guy's a savage. If you didn't watch today's press conference, just watching it and hearing his first statement, you're going to be like, this guy is either batshit crazy or just extremely confident. And I think it's both. I think it's just beyond that. I'm really high on Khamzat Chimaev at this point. It's not a fluke. It's not a hype train. To knock out Gerald Mearshart at 195 with one punch, with your first punch, for God's sakes, the guy's a UFC fighter, a middleweight UFC fighter, and you're gonna throw one punch and knock him out. So you know that's kind of crazy. Then you fight a 9 ranked Jing Liang, and you pick him up, something like that. He was top 10, I believe. Definitely top 10. You pick him up, or top 11, whatever. You pick him up, you slam him, and you're like, hey, Dana, I'm the king. I deserve. And you're talking and you're smashing the guy and then going for a killer submission. At this point, it's not about hype. It's about where's the ceiling for this guy, and the ceiling is the championship. You know what I'm saying? In fact, I see a double championship for this guy. That's how much I think of him. But going back to this line, because I have to justify, Hamzat under 2.5 is very reasonable. And they're giving me minus 139. It's like I'm gonna take it. I have to take it. I
Hammer that.
I have to
Now
take it.
let's look. So
And it's
what
plus
is that
278.
for that 2-leg. You could do that 2-leg parlay, but now I'm not done yet. I'm gonna add more to it as we go, but let me finish with this fight first. So
Okay.
I love the Hamza with the under 2.5 minus 139. Hammer that as a single. I will be throwing a lot of money on that as a single when that fight comes around. The singles, I wait till fight time and I attack one by one as the fights go on. The parlays, I hit them all obviously before the event so I could get as much fights into it as I can.
Okay.
The singles, I'm going to attack as the fights go on. Now, I'm going to attack that heavily. I'm going to also attack Hamzat by KO or sub if you go up a little bit to double chance.
Which one? The double chance?
Yeah, go up to double. Right there. Okay, yeah, right there.
Oh, the combo, right? No.
Yes, double chance right there.
Okay, hold on.
Hamza by KO or sub. No, down a little bit. You're on. That's not it.
Right here,
Right
I got
there.
you. I got you.
Okay, Hamza by
Hamzat,
KO or sub minus 150. Hammer that as well. Throw it in your parlays. Hammer it. No, take that out though, because we're gonna build a parlay.
Okay.
You can't.
Okay. Okay. But this is a alternative, right? If you wanted to.
Double chance. He just by finish.
Okay.
He wins by
Inside the distance, basically.
inside the distance. It's basically the same thing as him and under two and a
Okay, I
half,
have to.
except
I'm
you
sorry
don't get
to.
that
I don't
extra.
want to interrupt you, but I gotta ask. Why is it like that? Is it something we're not seeing? Are we
What do you
crazy?
mean?
Like, why is it
What
so
do you mean?
cheap?
Why? I mean, I don't know. I guess because they think because Gilbert Burns is gonna post a threat when he's not. I mean, Hamzat is gonna do to him what he does to everyone, and I don't see any difference this week. But
Okay.
that's what I'm attacking that heavily. If you want to play it safe and you are not as heavy into Hamzat as we are, you could take just the fight doesn't go the distance or under 2.5 or under 1.5 or whatever you want. But Hamzat all day. He's gonna smash Gilbert Burns and he's gonna make a big statement. And I promise I will put my life on it. That's how confident
Oof, oof, let's not go there, okay?
I'm
But
serious.
damn, that's guys,
That's
you
how
heard it,
much
you
of a
heard it
bully.
here. Not my words, but it's a big statement, and I can't disagree.
We'll be speaking next week,
Oh,
and
100%.
I'll still be here alive because Hamza will destroy and smash. But
Smash,
anyways, let's
kill,
move
eat the
on.
guy up. Smash Bros. All right, no problem. I
Let's
feel
go
you.
to the co-main. We got Peter Yan versus Aljamain Sterling. This round line we got at 4.5 is set. We got the over is -132 and the under is +104.
What's the line? I'm sorry. What did you set it at?
Over and under is 4.5.
Four
Four
and
and
a
a half.
half. Okay, okay.
Yeah.
So that's pretty high.
That's
Okay.
the that's what it's set at. But points bet has every round, so you
Yeah,
could do
yeah.
whichever
I
one
love
you
that. I
want.
love that.
Yeah, I love that also. So for me, if you want to add to the parlay, take off the under real quick. Oh, you got it. You didn't click on it.
No, I
Okay.
did not. I'm just hovering over. I was just looking at the value, but that's not the pick.
Yeah. So no, the pick to me is Peter Yan / over 2.5
Um,
-43. Look at that
Over
value.
right here,
That's
-143. Let
yeah.
me just fix this 1 second so they can see. So it's gonna be
Yeah.
Peter Yan, in
Over
combo over, um,
two and a
over
half
two and a
rounds.
half rounds at
Yeah.
143. And is
Yeah.
that is that a parlay piece?
Yeah, that's why. How come it's not uploading to the parlay? Why is
Oh
it
no, I
still
haven't
say?
clicked it yet. I'm waiting for the confirmation, sir.
Oh yeah. That's what. So now right here you get a three. What's the 3 leg parlay? What does it say? Plus
Plus
what?
543.
Come on, +543. Now you got Tisha over 2.5, Hamza under 2.5, and Jan over 2.5.
Correct.
Shh. Put your house on it. Put your house on it. Put your kids on it. Put your dog on it. Put your bank on it. Put everything on it. That's coming through.
Bro, I'm gonna
And if
go.
you really
Listen,
want to
I'm
get
gonna put my
crazy,
watch on it. It's because of you, bro.
and if you really want to get crazy,
Yeah.
you could even add Volk and
Let's
over
go.
2.5.
Now, before we
Let's
go,
we'll
can
get to
I
that. We'll
can I
get to
give
that.
my
Yeah.
2 cents on it?
Yeah,
Really quick.
of course.
So this
Oh, real
fight,
quick
yeah,
before you
yeah,
go,
yeah, yeah,
real quick. So for this fight, over 1.5, over 2.5, I have that in a bunch of parlays just to play it safe.
minus
That's coming
four
through in
thirty
my
five,
opinion.
1.5, and over
And
two and a
then
half,
2.5.
minus 239. Okay,
Yeah. And then I have Jan and over 2.5 in a lot of parlays also.
at minus 143, which we already added.
Yeah.
Okay,
But yeah,
good.
that's what I like.
Okay. Um, so I was fortunate enough to grab Peter Yan at minus 350-ish line, because he opened up as a favorite automatically. And I think 350 was like the cheapest price I saw before it went just, up towards the 500. Now, I will have to tell and disclose there has been a tremendous buyback on Aljamain Sterling because Peter Yan was as high as 550.
Yeah, I
And
see.
now there's as the days gets closer, and again, now I think Aljamain Sterling is either the greatest MMA actor of all time, or he just really, really believes in himself. In either case, it has swayed the public, and he has become the darling of upset for this card. Believe it or not, that's the theme that I'm getting from my research. In terms of the belief, the firm belief is still Peter Yan, but I gotta mention it. I gotta let people know that this is what I have observed. From the press conference, I had a small moment, and I texted you, so you can't let me lie. Where I'm
Yeah.
like, "Yo, this guy sounds very confident, and you told me stop that. And as soon as he said stop, I kind of like just immediately, stopped kidding around. But he's in phenomenal shape. He went back to Long Island to train, so he's been full camp. But there's a couple of things we mentioned on our podcast that just kind of like preventing me from even thinking about it. One, he hasn't had a fight since that Peter Yan incident, which is over a year ago, right? Since
Yeah.
then, Peter Yan has been in camp twice, so he's been constantly training, and he fought, a top level, like ranked number 2. What's his name again? I'm sorry.
Corey Sandhagen.
Corey Sanhagen, and even though there's some people believe he lost the fight, but no, he didn't lose the fight. He won. The damage that he inflicted on Corey Sanhagen is just undeniable, and so that's a favor, and not to mention the fact that Aljamain, not only did he not train or fight, the guy's recovering from a serious neck surgery. I mean, this is not like a joke. A neck surgery is not a joke. So even though he's in great shape, I think mostly it's genetics, if you ask me. But
Yeah.
to recover from a neck surgery, I cannot look past that. You know what I'm saying? And perhaps he'll be the greatest shape of his life, and he'll surprise everybody. But I'm still firm on Peter Yan. I think the guy's cold-blooded. He got ice in his veins. He was absolutely calm today. He was determined, and he didn't even want to entertain Aljamain Sterling, and because you can see Aljo wants to get in his head, but he's just not letting it happen. He's just not. I mean, look at the stoic face. I'm watching your background, and you could just like stoic.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He lets his talent speak for himself. So really, really like Peter Yan. Grabbed them early in the future, like minus 350 early on, and we set over 2.5. I agree with that line because Peter Yan is, he's a methodical fighter. In the first 2 rounds, he kind of digests his fighter, his opponent, and he reads him. And once he figured it out, it's over. You're not stopping a single punch. You're just getting either taken down, slammed down, or you're getting hit. You're getting knocked down. You know what I'm saying? So love Peter Yan, and I loved it over 2.5. Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, that's about it. Hedge yourself just in case. I'm going to do these parlays the same way, but, do the opposite side. And then just in case, either way, you're going to make money. You're not going to lose money if you do that. If you hedge yourself, if you know how to do it the right way, which you will learn as you watch our podcast, because I will teach you guys.
I
and I'll show you guys how to do it.
just money line.
No, I wouldn't even take a money line.
No?
I would do by submission one, and I would do one by points just in case.
Plus 700 or plus.
That's how you hedge yourself, in my
Yeah,
opinion, because you want to get the best numbers, so you don't have to risk as much in the parlays, and you win a lot more. And then even if like what you expected to happen doesn't happen, if you hedge yourself the right way, you're not going to lose money. You're still going to win money, even if it's not as much as you wanted. You're still going to win if you know how to do it the right way.
What do you I'm sorry to cut you off. What are you using though? Are you using Aljo sub plus 900 or
Well, I'm
Aljo
going to do
points?
both. I'm going to do
Both.
Aljo sub, or maybe just Aljo by finish. But I don't see, just in case. And then I'm going to do Aljo by points in another one.
And we're talking relatively small units, like.
Yeah, like no, not even units, like $10, $20.
Okay.
It all depends what I have invested. Like as the parlay goes on, like I look and I see, all right, what is still do I need to come through? Okay, let me hedge those just in case something else happens. Okay, if something else happens, what is gonna happen? What are the outcomes of this fight? What's the paths I see? If this guy's gonna win, how? Okay, he's gonna win by sub. All right, then I'll hedge like that. That's how I attack it. But you guys will learn more as we go on. Like,
okay, I think it's safe to say we are on Peter Yan. As you can see, I'm highlighting, so money line, but it's juiced. And we really like the Peter Yan over 2.5, and it's in our parlay. So far, 3-leg parlay plus 543, and we got one more fight to break down. It is a main event. Go ahead.
We got Volk and Korean Zombie, and that line is also set at 4.5. And the over is minus 164, and the under is plus 128.
And that's 4.5, okay?
Yeah. So if you want click on Volkanovski and over 2.5 minus 223.
Alexander Volkanovski. You said over
Over 2.5.
minus 223. Okay.
Now, boom, we have that 4 leg parlay, right?
Four leg
How much?
parlay.
Now,
Oof. Plus 832.
832.
832. That's amazing.
All right. So yeah, I mean, I really like this. I'm gonna play this myself.
Wow,
It's
two hundred fifty
beautiful.
dollars for 2 racks, bro.
Yeah, I mean,
That's
I'm confident
gorgeous.
in all these. Torres, if she's gonna win, like I said, what she is gonna win is gonna be by decision. So the over 2.5 all day. Hamza's gonna win by finish quick. Jan's gonna win. It's gonna probably be a decision, a late round stoppage. And Volk, same thing. So I love this. And the beauty of this is it's so easy to hedge because like now, listen, what I'm the most three I'm confident in is the last three.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to know like what are you like 100% about or 99% about, I'll tell you take the last three. Hamzat, Jan, and Volk, all of those. Hamzat under 2.5, Jan over 2.5, Volk over 2.5. Put everything you have on it. If you want to get crazier, add Torres in the over 2.5. Put a little bit more
Let
on
me
that.
take off. So this is a 4 leg parlay.
Yeah.
Again, everything you
Take
said,
off
Torres,
Tisha.
right?
Take her
Torres
off.
over, Hamzat under, Jan over, and Volk over 2.5.
All overs except Hamzat.
Except
Hamzat's the
Hamzat,
only one.
because we're thinking inside the distance. So now let me take off Tisha, okay? And if you just want to play 3 legs, it's plus 232,
Still
323.
good. And the good thing also, I want to say PointsBet, what they do is every day you're eligible for one parlay booster. You could use one a day. They give you one every day. So if you sign up to PointsBet, use my link. It's going to be in the bio. Anyways, you get a parlay booster every day. So like let's say you wanted to do this parlay right here, this 3-legger, you could use your parlay booster today. And instead of it being plus, what is it right now? Plus what?
323.
Instead of being plus 323 with the parlay booster, it'll jump up to like almost plus 400. So you'll get even more value out of it.
Wow, that's not
Yeah, I
bad.
really love that. I really love
And
that.
that's
I'm
every
going to be
day?
heavy on that. Every day you get one. So if you use one to get your next one the next
Dude,
day.
PointsBet
And
got a
yeah,
new sign up today.
I know. And then if you do it like you like the futures parlays, you do a future parlay where you have like I think the most legs they let you do on a parlay is 12 though. Like I
Mm-hmm.
know FanDuel and DraftKings they allow more than that.
Yeah.
But PointsBet the most you could do is 12 legs in a parlay. But you could do like a crazy future 12-leg parlay where the odds come out to like plus 50,000 and you could use the parlay booster and it's gonna go up to like 70,000.
Damn.
So yeah, it's sick. It's sick. I like it a lot. But yeah, so to wrap it up, this is
Just give me a
the last
second. Let
three.
me. I think we're done with here. Let me pull you up. Is it safe to say?
Yeah,
All
we're
right.
good
Let
with
me
this.
stop the share because we were sharing the screen. So let me pull you up
Yeah.
now. We can go into our side by side so we can actually engage a little bit more, and it's
Yeah.
easier on the viewer's eyes. And go ahead. I'm gonna let you go
Yeah,
take
so
over.
what I want to say was, so top three is the last three fights. Like I said, Hamzat by finish, Hamzat under 2.5, uh, Jan / over 2.5, Volk / over 2.5. Then
Let me pull
Tisha.
that up 1 second so they can actually see it. Just bear with me, okay? Let me
Yeah,
so they can follow along. I'm gonna have this in a right in front of them, and then you can just basically summarize for them. So this is our 3-legger, the main picks, right? So go ahead, you can let them
yeah.
know.
It's gonna
Once
be Hamzat / under 2.5
which
if
is
you have
right here,
access to that. If you have access to that. If not, taken by finish.
right?
Jan over 2.5. If you don't have access to that, maybe you could get access to Jan 4-5 or by decision. Volk over 2.5. If you don't have access to that, maybe you get Volk 4-5 by decision. The only one I'm a little bit more skeptical about is Volk because I could see him getting a stoppage in the third. But Korean Zombie's tough. He's not no slouch. I think he should last till at least the fourth.
I think so.
But you never know. You never know. Volk's hungry for that finish. He hasn't had a finish in a while. I think Chad Mendes was, or Aldo, well, no, Mendes was the last person he finished. So, yeah, but that's what I'm the most confident. That's where a lot of my money's going to be on. A lot of my
Those
money.
three.
But yeah, those three. And then after those three, Tisha Torres and Rocky are my next confident. Like, I'm really confident in those. both of them over 2.5 as well. Both of them by points if you want. But in all those fights, it's not like that's just what I'm gonna take. I'm also gonna like some parlays I have over 1.5, just over 1.5 Volk and Korean Zombie. Some parlays I have just over 1.5 or over 2.5 in Yan and Sterling. In the Rocky fight, I have over 1.5 in some parlays. Like I mix it up. I don't just throw everything on one outcome and that's it. If that
Right.
outcome doesn't, I'm done, So, but also hedge yourself. Like if you invested in Tisha, hedge yourself a little with Dern by submission. If you're heavily invested in Jan, hedge yourself Sterling by submission, Sterling by points. If you're invested in Volk heavily, hedge yourself Korean Zombie by KO. So it all depends, but that's the way I like to do it. I'm gonna have a lot of different parlays, all mixed and matched, but my 3 strongest plays are gonna be in a lot of those parlays. But then again, I'm also gonna have
Yeah.
other picks from those fights. So
Nah, that's great.
get it, let's
Yeah.
get it.
Wow. I
So
mean,
excited.
actually, like because we were a little bit more serious on this one because we're actually we're talking money at this point. I'm sure
Yeah,
the
a
viewers
lot of
will
money,
yeah,
a
we're talking
lot.
about a lot of money, guys. From your perspective, you got like over, damn, over
I'll
7.
have like, I'll have like 20,000 on this card altogether. I'm serious.
No, I
By
believe.
Saturday, by the time it's all said and done,
I
I'll have a
believe
lot.
you. I mean, guys, I'm laughing,
And
but
that
this
doesn't
is like
technically
crazy shit.
that doesn't technically mean like I'm risking
I know what you're
20,000.
saying. I know what you're
You know what I
saying.
mean?
No,
But
you
like
have a writing. You have a writing potential.
if everything goes as planned, I'll be up like hopefully more than
I
20,000,
know.
25.
That's crazy. Which means you're probably invested at least 3, 4,
More than that.
close to
Like
5.
closer, I would say between 5 and 10.
5 and 10 racks, guys. I want you to
Close to
understand.
10 though, for real.
Right, right.
I
It's
go big. I
no,
go
no.
big, man.
Do you
Go
think I'm
hard or go
doubting you?
home.
I've seen your books, bro. Come on
No,
now.
no, I know you're not down. I'm
Yeah.
telling for the viewers.
No, no, that's really that's why when we were breaking down the lines, as you can see, I wanted to make sure I'm clicking the right lines for you guys to see. So I hope you guys would appreciate it. When we gonna, if you like the content, make sure you let us know that this is something that you like. Round line rapid fire by Law Stacks. This is money talk now, okay, guys? So forget reviews, forget blah blah blah. Now it's serious money positions.
You're gonna see. You're gonna
Yeah,
see. The
absolutely.
proof is in the pudding.
Oh
They're
man,
gonna
I
see
cannot
the
wait
results.
for I'm now I can actually express my emotion and get a little bit more excited. But
Yeah.
again, I just wanted to let people know why I was a little bit more reserved, why you were very very calm, because we're talking lines, we're talking money, so it's very important for us
Yeah.
to go slow so you guys can follow. Okay, it's very important for us. And I love
Smash
all your
that like.
picks. Say that again.
I said to the viewers, smash that like. If you have any ideas for
Can
the
you put the
show
can
or
you
any
put in a rear
topics,
naked choke and submit the subscribe button just like
yeah,
like Hamza's gonna do?
yeah,
So
exactly,
absolutely.
exactly.
Loved
And
all your
as
picks.
we go on, sorry,
No,
as
no,
we
no, go
go
ahead.
on, give us ideas, give us what you guys want to see. We're gonna be improving, making adjustments, doing different things. Uh, the goal here is that everybody, gets a feeling for how we like to do things and how we view what's gonna happen, how we see like our results and like what we think is gonna happen, and you guys get a feel for that, so you guys could, figure out your process. Doesn't mean your process is to be exactly the same as our process, but if we could help you along your process, so where you guys are improving and making as much money as you want, just like we're doing, that's the goal here, and also to produce as much content for you guys so that you guys have as much knowledge as you need to make as much money as you need as well.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Absolutely love it. Again, love the I enjoyed it because for me, I was actually learning points bet with everybody. This was me. I was not pretending, as you saw. I was going through points bet myself the first time. I love the fighter over match double,
Yeah.
so that was insane for me. Because again, that was my first exposure to it. So excellent book. I told you I'm signing up and I'm going crazy
Yeah.
with it.
Let's get it.
Cannot wait for the Saturday. At this point, I am just my emotions are just like so fragile because I just want to be in Saturday. Okay, I just want to see the dim. I'll probably be shaking when the main card starts. I'm just gonna be like, I'm gonna go,
No, it always
I'm gonna
is.
go freaking
Especially when
nuts.
you got so much money on the line,
Of
But
course, of course.
God is always watching over us, and
I'm
we always find a
probably,
way to be on
me
the winning side.
personally, and I'm gonna disclose it. I'm gonna be heavily invested. Expect to be 20 plus 25
Mm.
units in this play, guys. Okay, so it's gonna be a good night, or I'm not. It's gonna be a great night. Fuck
Oh,
that.
it's gonna be
Excuse my
the
language.
best night.
It's gonna be
The
the
best
best
night.
night. We have especially a pay per view like this. With Savage Killers that we like, where we usually we don't play around, guys. So
Yeah.
so definitely
If we're putting this much money on the line, that means like we're super, super,
right.
super confident.
Yeah.
It don't get more confident than I am
Yeah,
in Cyprus.
absolutely.
Like
No,
we're
yeah, especially you, man. If you're playing like that, if me not following is just either stupidity or ignorance, and I don't want to accept either or. So excellent,
we're gonna
excellent
get it. We're
content.
gonna
Yeah,
keep getting it every
hundred
week in
percent.
and week out.
I'm
If
gonna
there's MMA, there's money in our bank accounts.
I'm gonna give you a chance. Close it off, and then
Yeah.
I think it's good. Yeah.
Yeah, we're good. That's it. Thank you guys for tuning in. For everybody, please hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Let YouTube know you enjoyed the content we're producing for you guys. We're gonna keep coming. It's gonna be content on the regular. We know that's what you guys want. If you have any ideas, if you have anything you think we should do or how we should do it, there's the comment section. Let us know. We're always open to trying new things. We just want to make it the best experience possible, and that's what we're going to continue to strive to do at the end of the day. And it's only going to get better and better. And the sky is the limit, and that's where we're going, up, up, up. We're never going back down. So that's all I
I'm
got to
all
say.
the way up.
All the way up.
Absolutely love it. Thank you so much for the content. It's
Oh,
been an absolute pleasure as always. And
yes,
I guess
sir.
the next time I see you is when we're live and we freaking watching the fights and going ham.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
we're making a lot of money.
Oh, definitely, 100%, man. God bless you. I'm gonna see you relatively soon. I'm not saying goodbye,
Yeah,
but for my viewers, for our viewers, thank you guys for checking out Battle Cage. Once again, I know we're like repetitive, but we gotta get on the grind. So make sure you hit that like, and we got 16 likes in our last video, which is really damn
we're
good.
gonna
We
climb it.
love
We're
it.
gonna keep
Right,
climbing.
we absolutely love it. We appreciate all the people that gave us feedbacks, whether they,
Yeah,
they DM'd us or they commented down below. We definitely we're taking every feedback, every constructive, whether it's whatever you want to say. If it's gonna
yeah,
help you, it's gonna help us. That's how we see it. So definitely show us some love. If we seeing 50, 60 new views, give us that sub, and who knows, maybe you're
yeah.
gonna get some value out of it, and that's what it is too, because we
Oh,
follow
they'll
other.
definitely get value out of it.
Listen, I'm not doubting, but I'm just letting them know. And yeah, just show some love, and we're gonna hit you with those money lines, and I'm telling you guys, you will see this man is built different. I'm a shark myself, highly respected, and we're gonna get it done. It's all love. I'm out. Thank you guys. Thank you, Law Stacks, and
All day.
until next time, peace, love, man.
Battle cage.
Battle cage in the trenches. Yo, I'm out of it, man.
All right, bro.
All right, bye.